Hi guys, welcome back to Tom Mods Things. Apologies for the lateness on another upload, but obviously, as you know, as I've alluded to on other videos, I've got sort of family priorities and stuff at the moment, so I'm just filling in as and when I can. I mean, at the moment, baby's asleep upstairs. I'm down here doing a video for you guys. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to fly around because I've been doing bits and bobs in sort of the spare hours and stuff that I get sort of in evenings and mornings, weekends, sort of just bits of time here and there just to kind of tick things off the list. We're getting extremely close now. As you saw in the last video, we got the car, drove it out of the garage, so it runs under its own power now, which is great, and stops and stuff, the handbrake and that, so we are well on our way for this getting fully MOT'd at the moment, which is going to be absolutely awesome. So anyway, let's flick you guys around and we're going to show you exactly what I've been up to in the meantime. Right, for those of you that are new to the channel, this is an introduction to the Max Power 106 build. This was picked up last year as a complete wreck with everything all stripped out, stuff all dumped inside, no windows, body kit was a mess, paintwork was awful, no headlights, engine wasn't running, you know, the typical project car. It's not had an MOT in well over 15 years, so we can only assume it's been off the road for a longer time than that, but as of yet we have absolutely zero service history, normal history for the car, who owned it, where it came from, whether it was any ever finished. So yeah, so it's got a body kit, mixture of sort of car's own bits, can't remember what the front bumper was. Then it's we got a custom bonnet vent, sort of the bad boys section added in, and then it's obviously slammed on these Momo twins, which we've got tyres on the episodes you saw, last episode actually, that we saw where we drove out of the garage. And then a couple of the latest additions for people that will have seen, but we picked up some new wing mirrors. Now we did have, over the back there with all the other Max Power stuff, we did have some M3 wing mirrors. Now those were picked by you guys, but what we have done now, just to save time on potentially putting in a little side indicator somewhere around here again, is some of these chrome M3 wing mirrors came up, and I think this is just a little bit more Max Power, but sort of the main reason was because they actually have the indicators built into them, so that's going to make my job a lot easier, because now we can just wire in these instead, and we are ready to go. Now just as an update, you will see that the rear wing is off at the moment. Now we are finishing up the basically the surface prep on this, so this can be sent off ready to get wrapped. Those of you that are new, the colour that this was chosen is a flip colour, so it's going to go from a purple to a blue hue, was the colour combination that's going to be picked, which is going to look absolutely sick. Now if you haven't done already, go and follow my Tom Mods Things Instagram channel, because I had an illustration put together for that, and I got them to do the illustration in the colour that this car is going to be, as if it was totally finished, and I mean, it looks absolutely sick. I'll chuck a little snippet here, but yeah, keep an eye out on my Instagram channel, because that's kind of where I chuck sort of my day-to-day bits and bobs before I manage to get a time to actually put a video together. So if you want to keep track on progress on this, that's kind of crucial place to be, and then here for a little bit more of the information in the background. Right, so moving on round to the rear, as you can see, we've started sanding back all the bodywork. Now, obviously this has been painted at some point in its life, but we'll show you up here. If we can focus in on this, if I can get this technology to work properly. There we go, so you can just make out there all the bubbles underneath the clear coat. There we go, properly shows it. So yes, in essence what we're trying to do is we're trying to remove all of these really before wrap goes down, because some of you that have had cars wrapped in the past will know that anything that shows up on the paintwork will show up on the wrap. Next thing, so we've bonded in the rear screen now, hence why there's brake discs on top of it, just to add a little bit of weight. So this is now fully fixed in with a new seal and everything, ready for action. So what we can do now is we can properly finish up the surface. We can also get the rear wing, once we've finished up the surface on that, fully bonded on, and it just makes the car watertight as well. Now we still need to do the front windscreen. Now this is brand new, it's just sort of sat in here at the moment, as you can see, but we do have just over here another kit for fitting that as well, so hopefully going to get this fitted this weekend is the plan. Now what we have also done, and you'll have seen on my Instagram channel, is we have wired in these rear lights fully. So what we were doing is basically we purchased, I don't know if we can see them, oh yeah, just up the back there, some old Lexus 106 rear lights, and what we did in essence is we took this bit here, which is the loom, which splices all of the positives and all the negatives, and basically we just labelled up exactly what each of the pieces were. We then chop off the bulb holders, and then we have the cable running up over here through the deck lid all behind, and then it pokes out just over here. Now ignore the fact that it's all a little bit of a mess at the moment, because this will all get tucked up, and then there's a panel, that fascia panel, that goes over the top anyway to hide it all. But what that means is that these are all wired in. Same thing as well, and you can just see it kind of down there really, but that was sat up on a bracket that just sits over here. And what I'll do is I'll just come round and try and show that quickly, but this is basically what we've rigged up as our third brake light. So this now sort of sits up here, shines through the back window, so that's how we got round not having the third brake light in place. Now separate update as well is the seats, or at least the driver's seat anyway, fully mounted in. So what we ended up doing for this is, as we look over here, we've got these seat mounts that are usually for bucket seats for a 106 or a Saxo, and in essence, I've done the window up so I can't open it yet. 2 seconds, let me get this open. Right, in the car, we'll sit in the passenger seat, so in essence we've mounted through the top of this bracket with some bolts straight through the normal fixing points on this, and then we've made some mounts for the rear of it. Then as soon as we've got kind of all of these pieces mounted in as well, all fixed in, it means that the seat's now fully mounted in the car, which is great. So now we've actually got a seat that works and it actually fits, and so that's obviously a good stage. We can move on to this actually next. So as you literally just saw, because I couldn't get in this side, the car doesn't actually have any door handles on the outside. They were totally shaved off and blanked out, typical mod of the era, and also it looks pretty sick, to be fair. So what we've done is we've purchased a solenoid kit. So we got these absolutely monster solenoids, 85-pound ones, sitting here. They are tethered with this cable all the way to the door lock, so that when they activate, the door will then open. Now as you saw, there's no actual button or anything really on the outside yet, and obviously the door cards are off. So the plan of action for this, and I'll just go and show you over on the workbench, is we are doing the normal thing. So I think these are the ones that I'm going to use on the inside, which is why they're a bit bigger, but we can show you the intention anyway. So obviously we've got these chrome mirrors, so the idea is, just like a TVR, is going to drill a hole through the actual chrome piece on this mirror. That will come out, and I'll just pass it in through. As you can see there, there's a hole right here where all the cables come out. So hopefully what we'll do is we'll come in from the inside through, and then we should get a sort of a nice central hole in there, which will allow us then to put this button basically fixed right in. Oh, and the chrome is making this go mental. Literally just fixed in there, and you won't really be able to tell that it's in there once it's totally flush. What it does mean is we'll just literally be able to push this button, doors will pop open, which will be awesome. So we're going to do this on the outside, and then on the inside, which is what I'm using these buttons for because they're slightly bigger, is we are going to design and 3D print effectively a little housing that these will sit in, and we're just going to get rid of the door handles on the inside, and then to get around having a physical connection that you need for here, is we're just going to make some little hidden door straps which we'll tuck in behind a speaker, or I don't know, something like that, because we're going to make some custom door cards for this as well. So yeah, so all this stuff sits over here, got a new cable, and then we've got all of these bits to go with it as well. So we've got a control module with some little key things as well, so we're going to try and wire these in as well. So we're going to hardwire it to start with, just with all the buttons, because that will just get us to the end result quicker, and we'll just solve everything. But then ultimately we're going to use this anyway, because I think it's just worthwhile doing that. Alright, then what else have we been working on? Something else unrelated, I'll just get this up. Under the bonnet is we've wired in this fan shroud, so this is all mounted up, wired in off the existing loom and everything. So this is now giving us a sort of a proper fan mounted to our larger radiator behind, because this is a bigger one than the original one on these like little phase 1 1.6 engines. They had like this little radiator that sat in here, and then we ordered the big one accidentally, and then couldn't use the old fan, which is now in the bin over there anyway because it just looked horrible. So we've got this thing now, which is, I think you would agree, looks much better. And some of the last things to do on here is just to put on sort of the windscreen wipers and stuff. Once we get the windscreen bonded in, make sure all that's running, then we're going to get, much like we did on the Porsche, a little washer bottle with, I've got a washer pump thing over there anyway, and we're just going to try and sit it in here somewhere, I think. We might even be able to, we'll just remove the original washer bottle and we'll just sort of tuck it down there maybe, or we'll work out a way of mounting it in properly, but we can't use the original one because all the pipework's missing, and anyway we can't be arsed really with that because we need to mount some little jets in this grille here. So we're going to put one up here and we're going to put one on this side as well to spray on the windscreen, because obviously the whole bonnet's been smoothed off on the top and we are not going to be drilling through it to put anything in there and ruining it. Then we've got our strut brace to go all the way across. Obviously we've got our new brake lines that we did for the rear, so that's all going well. So yeah, all under here is kind of happy days at the moment. Ignore the filter, ignore the hot air filter, that is being changed, but it's just on there for the moment. So yeah, there. Yeah, close that, forget about it. Right, and then something else that we are working on, I showed this on my Instagram as well, is indicators for the rear. I'll just move all this stuff. So what we have, and we picked these up for the Porsche originally, we have these cool little PCBs, these little LED PCBs. And what's cool about these is these are sequential. So I'll just rig it up quickly and I'll show you what I mean. Right, so this then shows what those look like. So as you can see, going from the left hand side to the right hand side in a sort of sequence across. So think and just imagine these at the moment, hold that in your head. And then what we're going to do is in this gap here, probably, I think just here, maybe on the edge a little bit. But effectively what we're going to do is we're going to take the dot matrix, so all how those little LEDs are formed on that PCB, we're going to make a little template, then we're going to drill basically all those little holes in this bumper and we're going to plug it with some light pipes, and then what we're going to do is we're going to 3D print and design a little bracket that then sticks in from behind the bumper that then houses the LED PCB and tries to seal it as well, basically with a sort of some rubber grommets, and we'll do some funky stuff with that, and then we'll run the cables up through the boot or through the arch liner or something, then into the back into the normal connection point. So those will be kind of totally hidden really in the back, you won't really see them until they're on, and then it will just leave all of this nice smoothness across the back to look all lovely. Right guys, and just to keep you updated on where we're up to, so we've been messing around with these solenoids for the doors. As you know from previous videos, everything was all shaved off, so we needed a way of getting in. I showed you a minute ago the little switches. We ended up with the smaller ones in the end, so we've still got the big ones for the ends. But in essence what we've got is a little bit of magic going on. So you under here, there we go. So effectively what we've got is a little button, as you can just see here, underneath, and you literally press that. As soon as you press it, as you can hear, the solenoids go off, so we can show that movement working here. So pressing the button, there we go. So that basically will pop the door open. So as soon as it's closed, just press it, opens it up, job done. I can show you what we've also done as well. So pop these open and then lift these bad boys up, and as you can see they now hold themselves up like proper Lambo doors. So what we've done is we've worked out a strut mechanism, and actually we can't really see it at all in here. Let's see if we can get up in there. Oh yeah, there we go. So yeah, we've got that strut basically running all the way to the top. So what that was doing was replacing these things, which we couldn't actually find anywhere. Looked like they'd been bodged together. So what we've done is we found ones that work a lot smaller but same sort of force and stuff, and in essence they work just as they need to. Got a couple of the cables running out at the moment, so those are for the solenoids, and they are also for the LEDs in the wing mirror. So we haven't done this side just yet. Close that up. But if we come around here, we have done. Ignore the fact that they're flashing really quickly at the moment. That's because we haven't actually got indicators plugged in certain places. Same with the strobe going on in the background, which is to do with that one that I showed you earlier, that we've just wired into the proper lumen stuff. I've also made some progress on this rear bumper. So basically what we're doing is we're having those LEDs that you saw having the strobe fit in the background, and they're going to sit behind these areas here. So all of these are little light pipes at the moment. We need to sand them off over the top just to get them all nice and smooth. And then we've got the same on the opposing side. As you can see at the moment they're just quite rough because we just chopped them off, and then we need to sand them back, make them all nice and smooth. And what we're going to do is we're going to bond the PCB onto the back so that they basically flash through. But to sort of the untrained eye, as you were sort of driving past this, you wouldn't actually see that it had indicators, which I think is pretty damn sick, to be fair. Another thing we finally got round to doing as well, which is why this is another mess again, is we stripped out the whole Clifford alarm system, which is a pretty big task, but we managed to get around it in the end. The only thing we're chasing at the moment is the car's not turning over again. It's really annoying. So we need to work out why that is. That's probably going to be down to a relay or a fuse somewhere along the lines, or maybe a broken cable or something. So we're going to fly through it and see if we can find out. But the main thing is that we've stripped all of the rubbish out of this that we didn't need, and it's right back to basics, which makes it a hell of a lot easier to work on. So yeah, update on Max Power 106 project. As you can see, we've done a fair bit at the moment, still a little bit to go. We're supposed to get stuff completely sorted today, but unfortunately the electric side of things with the starter motor not starting and stuff just completely scuppered the plans, because I was rooting around in the car for hours trying to pull all of that stuff back out again, because as I've mentioned before, that is not the funnest of times for me. I do not like doing auto electrics. So anyway, took my time doing that, but managed to get there in the end. So yeah, stay tuned on the channel, because we are doing sort of the last few bits now before it gets sent off to hopefully pass its MOT. And then as soon as that happens, then we can actually get out on the road with it, which is going to be pretty sick. And then as soon as that happens, it's going to be really quite quick, because there's going to be a lot of stuff happening also very quickly before this Max Power reunion show in August. So all the colouring, boot build, we've got to smash through that as well and get that sorted. Interior dress up, which is going to be like painting certain bits. Engine bay as well, we want to dress that up in loads of chrome and colours and all sorts of stuff. And then also fundamentally the main colour for the car as well needs to go on, which is going to be a pretty sick occasion once that happens. So yeah, cheers all for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See you later.